So how long have you been homeless?
I've been homeless for 3 years now.
3 years?
3 years.
What was it that happened 3 years ago that caused you to become homeless?
Basically, it's like I was staying with my father, Robert Miller, in Suffolk, Georgia. It was what he did to me ended up happening, and it happened. I had my baby by my dad in 2016. I ended up getting pregnant in 2016, but I had my daughter in 2017, February 5th. 2017.
You say by your dad?
Yes, by my biological dad.
What?
Yes.
Okay. And is that your only child?
Yes, sir. That's my only one.
Okay. Wow. I didn't expect to hear that. So, okay. All right. So you were living with your dad, and you ended up getting pregnant by him?
Yes, sir.
How long had y'all been having?
It all started when I was 11 years old. He ended up. So one summer I came down to Suffolk, Georgia to spend time with him. So I thought it was my brother, but it was end up kind of finding out it was him, because when I told him that I felt like my brother had touched me, he ain't say anything. He ain't had no reaction. So in my mind, okay, he done did it. So afterwards, it's been happening for, I would say, about 15 years.
So hold on. So at first you thought you didn't know who it was.
Exactly.
But at some point, when did you guys start? So at first you thought you was just touched, not
right.
Okay, when did you guys start having to where you was aware that your dad was? How old were you then?
I was 13, because I remember my first period.
Okay. And so what happened? Like, how did y'all get to the point to where y'all were having?
It was like I just had got out of school, because I was at middle school at the time. I was a sixth grader. And I was asleep, and I was like, when you go to sleep at night, you knocked out sleep. So my dad ended up coming in my room, waking me up, and told me to come here. So it's like I'm halfway up, halfway asleep, so I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
Until he started end up kissing on me, and then like laid me down on the floor and like putting his thing in me, and I remember crying, trying to push him off me, but my dad is so heavy set that I couldn't push him off me. So I was still right there, and he was still doing it. And it's like ever since then it continued. It's like I was trying to tell my stepmom, but
so he's married?
He was married. He was married.
And so you were so his
and I could never.
And so when you told her, what was her response? What was her reaction?
She like somebody, if I tell her anything, she was gonna tell him. So it's like she really didn't do nothing. And it's
did she believe you?
I don't even think she even believed me. I even wrote a letter to my godparents to let them know what was going on. She read the letter and still have not believed me. So then, like I said, it's been 15 years. So
right. So I mean, just so I can understand, right? Because I understand that you was a victim, okay, and I'm not trying to take away from that at all. But I do want to just kind of really understand. So even when you was older, let's say when you was 20, 22 years old, stuff like that, you, at that point, was he forcing you to do it, or were you used to it and you guys was just doing it?
It was just, it's to the point I had got used to it, but because it's like the trauma. Because it's like I'm still traumatized about it. I want my justice. But it's like, I had my daughter between 22 and 23. It was like between like 2017. It was like I had got, it's not like you get used to something. It's like, okay, you done got used to it, but you're still trying to like find your innocence. You're trying to find who you is, but it's like at the same time, who can you tell? Who can you trust? Because if you try to go to somebody, some people won't believe you. Some people will. It's like
who did believe you?
Okay, I remember I was working at Subway in Suffolk, Georgia, Miss Deborah, and it was like this family, this church family that I know, they ended up coming in. The girl name that I knew, she used to coach my basketball team with Miss Brown, our other coach. So she ended up coming in there with some people. She was like, asked me, she like, LaQuivia, what's going on? What's wrong? Because usually when I'm at work, I'm having fun, enjoying it, and spending time with my coworkers. But that particular day, she came in like, what's wrong? So I was like, my dad ended up touching on me for a long time. I was like, it was so in me that I couldn't even trust nobody to go tell. And then the fact it just not happened to me, it also happened to my little girl. So this is why I say I want justice, because...
So who does your little girl live with right now?
Right now, my daughter is in foster care. I ended up losing my parental rights last year in 2022.
And so you say that your dad did this to your daughter?
Yes, he ended up...
How do you know that?
She told me. My daughter literally told me herself. I did not beg her. I just asked her, because one day I was riding in the car with my friend, my ex-best friend Alexis' mom, Miss Martina, and I was in the back seat with my daughter. So I was on my phone, but some told me, stop what you're doing and pay attention to Leah. So that's exactly what I did. So I stopped what I was doing. I turned to my daughter, and my daughter loved teddy bears. She ended up putting the teddy bear between her legs, but it was different. She ended up doing a little finger motion. So I stopped, looked, and I thought to myself, something happened. And I asked her, I said, Leah, did anybody touch you wrong, inappropriate, or something like something like that? She said yes. And I asked her, I said, who? The fear in my daughter's eyes, she did not want to say who. I asked her the same question, but I asked her in a different way. She still said yes. I said, okay. Then I said, Leah, who did it? She still wouldn't say who. So I thought to myself, I said, okay. So I asked her, I said, Leah, did Papa touch you? She said yes. To this day, the officer, Mr. Sid, that is the sheriff in Sumterton, Georgia, literally I ended up letting him know. He told me these exact words. They ain't even do nothing to him.
Did you just watch that, guys? It is well, oh Jesus, I am short of words.